Hello there, welcome back to another English online session. Today I am going to narrate the balance part of the lesson, The Making of a Scientist, written by Robert W. Patterson. We have just learned how he just completed his primary education and what was his interest initially and what was the turning point in his life. So, the curiosity to know about things and the frustrated mind to learn things made him achieve a lot of things. Let's see, after collecting these eggs of butterflies and just rice butterflies in his basement, after that experiment, he didn't get much result. So, what happens next? Let's see in this part. Then in the seventh grade, he got a hint of what real science is when he entered a county science fair and lost. It was really a sad feeling to sit there and not get anything while everybody else had won something, Ebright said. Another important event happened in his life when he was in the seventh standard. He participated in the county is a region, okay, science fair, and he lost. He didn't get any prize, and he was just very sadly remembering that. His entry was slides of frog tissues which he showed under a microscope. He realized the winners had tried to do real experiments, not simply make a neat display. So actually he displayed the frog tissues looking through the microscopes. But those who won the prize, they have tried a real experiment. So if we do a real experiment, we will get prize, that he realized by the time. Already the competitive spirit that drives Richard Ebright was appearing. I knew that for the next year's fair I would have to do a real experiment, he said. The subject I knew most about was the insect work I had been doing in the past several years. So he wrote to Urquhart for ideas, and back came a stack suggestions for experiments. Those kept Ebright busy all through high school and led to prize projects in county and international science fair. So he decided to do some experiment. He just wrote to the professor Urquhart, and he just sent a bundle, a number of ideas to Ebright, and he just followed it. He just trying to do very busily. He just tried to do, and after that he just won a lot of prizes in county and international science fair. For his 8th grade project, Ebright tried to find the cause of a viral disease that kills nearly all monarch caterpillars every few years. Ebright thought the disease might be carried by a beetle. So in the 8th grade, he just done a project that the viral disease that affect the caterpillars and kill uh, them for every few years, and he just doubted that it is spread by a beetle. He tried raising caterpillars in the presence of beetles. I didn't get any real result, he said, but I went ahead and showed that I had tried the experiment. This time I won. So this time what he tried means he just raised these butterflies in the presence of that beetles, but he didn't get any real results, but he just presented the same experiment in front of the judges, and he won the prize this time. That is a great motivation to him. The next year's science fair project was testing the theory that viceroy butterflies copy monarchs. And the next year, he just tried the theory. A theory was there. These viceroy butterflies are copying appearance of the monarch butterflies. The theory was that viceroys look like monarchs because monarchs don't taste good to birds. So these viceroy butterflies are copying or just trying to be appear like monarch butterflies, because monarch butterflies don't taste to birds. So if the birds see the viceroy butterfly also like monarch, they won't eat it. Viceroys, on the other hand, do taste good to birds, so the more they look like monarchs, the less likely they are to become a bird's dinner. Ebright's project was to see whether, in fact, birds would eat monarchs. And he particularly took that whether these birds eat monarch butterflies. That was the finding he was trying to get. He found that a starling would not eat ordinary bird food, it would eat all the monarchs it could get. Ebright said later research by the other showed that Viceroy probably do copy the monarch. So a particular bird, starling, do eat these monarch butterflies. He had found it, and later it is proved there are chances of this Viceroy butterfly copying monarch. This project was placed first in the zoology division and third overall in the county science fair. In his second year in high school, Richard Ebright began the research that led to his discovery of an unknown insect hormone. So, in the high school, in the second year, he had found an unknown hormone, insect hormone that he had found. Indirectly, it also led to his new theory on the life of cells. So, this finding led to his new theory, the life of cells. The question he tried to answer was simple: what is the purpose of the 12 tiny gold spots on a monarch pupa? So, on this pupa, golden color dots are there, 12 dots exactly. So, what's the purpose of that? Uh, Merely it is ornament or some other purpose it carries. He was just trying to research on it. Everyone assumed the spots were just ornamental, Ebright said, but Dr. Urquhart didn't believe it. To find the answer, Ebright and another excellent science student first had to build a device that showed that the spots were producing a hormone necessary for the butterfly's full development. So Dr. Urquhart also didn't believe that. Other people believed that it is just ornamental. It has no other purpose. But they have developed a device to find this particular hormone is very much needed for the full development of the butterfly. This project won a bright first place in the county fair and entry into the International Science and Engineering Fair. There he won third place for zoology. So this particular project won in prizes in county and international level, and he just won the prize in a third prize in international level in zoology. He also got a chance to work during the summer at the entomology laboratory of the Walter Reed Army Institute of Research. So like a scholarship or like he was just worked as an apprentice in the this particular laboratory as a trainee because he won this prize. As a high school junior, Richard Ebright continued his advanced experiments on the monarch pupa. That year, his project won first place at the International Science Fair and gave him another chance to work in the Army laboratory during the summer. So that year, he just won the first place in the International Science Fair. Again, he had got a chance to work in this laboratory during the summer vacation. In his senior year, he went a step further. He grew cells from a monarch's wings in a culture and showed that the cells would divide and develop into normal butterfly wing scales only if they were fed the hormone from the gold spots. So the development of the wing scale hormone produced by these golden spots are very important. He found that project won first place for zoology at the international fair. He spent the summer after graduation doing further work at the army laboratory at the laboratory of the US Department of Agriculture. So that he had proved that a wrong belief. He just corrected that. He proved that these golden spots, they are not merely ornamental. They are just playing a vital role in the development of the wings of the butterfly. The following summer, after his freshman year at the Harvard University, Ebright went back to the laboratory of Department of Agriculture and did more work on the hormone from the gold spots. So after the first year in the Harvard University, he again went back to the laboratory and continued his research in the uh, hormone that developed from the golden spots. Using the laboratory sophisticated instruments, he was able to identify the hormone's chemical structure. A year and a half later, during his junior year, Ebright got the idea for his new theory about cell life. So in the laboratory, he got some advanced devices that help him to find the chemical structure of this hormone. Then it leads to a development in his new theory about cell life. It came while he was looking at X-ray photos of the chemical structure of hormone. When he saw those photos, Ebright didn't shout Eureka or even I have got it, but he believed that along with his findings about insect hormones, the photos gave him the answer to one of biology's puzzles, how the cell can read the blueprint of its DNA. So he had done something very new, but he didn't express his excitement like the other scientists did. So the important thing, the finding is how this cell read the blueprint of its DNA. That was the greatest finding he had done through his research. DNA is the substance in the nucleus of a cell that controls heredity. This DNA is a nucleus substance that controls the heredity of a species. It determines the form and function of the cell. Thus, DNA is the blueprint for life. So, thus, he proved that DNA is the blueprint of life. Ebright and his college roommate James R. Wong worked all that night drawing pictures and constructing plastic models of molecules to show how it could happen. Together, they later wrote the paper that explained the theory. So then they just done all the necessary drawings and the models needed to present this in front of others. Then later they have developed the theory based on their findings. Surprising no one who knew him, Richard Ebright graduated from the Harvard with the highest honors, second in his class of 1510. So all these researchers, away from that, he just completed his degree, graduated as the second one, uh, in the second position out of 1510 students. Ebright went on to become a graduate student researcher at Harvard Medical School. There he began doing experiments to test his theory. So he just continued as a student there, a researcher there, and trying to prove or trying to advancedly check his theory. He decided to do that. If the theory proves correct, it will be a big step towards understanding the process of life. It might also lead to new ideas for preventing some type of cancer and other diseases. So this development, this theory, if it can be proved in the lab, it led to many new inventions. Even they can prevent some types of cancers or other diseases. All of this possible because of Ebright's scientific curiosity. His high school research into the purpose of spots on a monarch paper eventually led him to his theory about cell. So his high school research, his doubt about these golden spots on the pupa, that led him to this extreme end. He found something very new, invented something very new. Richard Ebright has been interested in science since he first began collecting butterflies, but not so deeply that he hasn't time for other interest. He is very much interested in science. Also, he found time to spend in other activities. Ebright also became a champion debater and a public speaker and a good canoeist and all-around outdoors person. He is also an expert photographer. Other than that, the research as a scientist, he is a good debater, a champion speaker, and also he take good photographs and canoeist. Many things he is very good at, particularly of nature and scientific exhibits. He used to take photographs of scientific as well as nature. In high school, Richard Ebright was a straight A student because learning was easy. He turned a lot of his energy towards the debating and model United Nations clubs. So he was a brilliant student in the school level, and he just turned his energy towards debating. Debating is one of the things he liked very much in the model United Nations clubs. He also found someone to admire, Richard A. Weiherer, as social studies teacher and advisor to both clubs. Mr. Weiherer was the perfect person for them. He opened my mind to new ideas, Ebright said. Richard would always give that extra effort, Mr. Weiherer. So another important thing or another supporter in his life is Richard A. Weiherer. He was a social science teacher and a perfect person for Richard Ebright, who led him in the right path. He just provided him a lot of opportunities to explore new ideas. According to Mr. Weiherer, Ebright is always ready to do or give some extra effort. What pleased me was here was this person who put in 3 or 4 hours at night doing debate research besides doing all his research with butterflies and his other interest. Ebright is ready to spend nearly 3 to 4 hours away from his researches related to butterfly for debating and all those other activities that Weiherer liked a lot. Richard was competitive, Mr. Weiherer continued, but not in a bad sense. He explained Richard wasn't interested in winning for winning's sake or winning to get a prize. Rather, he was winning because he wanted to do the best job he could. So, according to Weiherer, Richard or Ebright is a person who do not do anything for winning or for the prizes. He wanted to do something best, and the prize is second thing. Whether he had done something good or best, that is the point in the mind of Ebright that Weiherer liked a lot. For the right reason, he wants to be the best, and that is one of the ingredients in the making of a scientist. And this is one of the ingredients of making a scientist. If you want to be a scientist, this kind of mind is needed, the frustrated mind that help you to reach there. Start with a first rate mind, add curiosity, and mix in the will to win for the right reason. So you have to start with the first rated mind and just add the curiosity. You wanted to know or have the mind to study everything. And another thing, a will, determination to win. Then you can easily be a scientist. This is the lesson this Ebright's life giving us. The travels of Monarch X opened the world of science to him. Richard Ebright has never lost his scientific curiosity. So the best thing about him, he didn't lose his scientific curiosity from the book he had read, Travels of Monarch. That just put him in this place. Hope you understood this lesson. Have a thorough reading of the chapter. See you with another lesson in the next class. Till then, take care. Bye.